Or a dove?
Yeah. More of a
Dove or an owl? There you go.
That'd be pretty good.
You got a lot of calls.
Like,
a lot of Davy Crockett in
yeah,
you.
that was right out of the Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
You're darn right it was.
Yeah. What's
Fess
his buddy's
Parker.
name?
Fess Parker.
He's got a winery.
Yeah, Fess Parker wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Davy Crockett. Oh gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can picture
Charlie,
him.
I want to say. Was it a
Picture
Charlie?
him. I can picture him.
Oh, I can
Davy
picture him,
Crockett.
absolutely. Who's his little sidekick buddy who's with him the whole way?
Yeah.
Both films.
Especially in the River Adventures. Yeah.
Oh, he's big in the River Adventures.
Yeah, those films were actually a TV show that was like 6 episodes that they turned into.
Oh, is that real?
Georgie Russell.
George Russell. Come on.
Come on.
What a human.
Yeah.
What a human. Both of those were TV shows? Or
Yeah, so it was 5 episodes
of like 20 minutes each or whatever?
that they turned into the movies, yeah.
Into both movies,
Yeah.
because there's 2 of them. There's like The Legend of Davy Crockett, and then there's Davy Crockett and the River Pirates or something.
The first 3 segments comprising the film, which originally aired on Walt Disney's Disneyland, were popular enough for Walt Disney to release them theatrically. The film remains Disney's most successful television film project, inspiring 2 prequel episodes for the television series, which were later released in theaters as Davy Crockett and the River Pirates.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, you had a little Fess Parker. You had Buddy Ebsen as Georgie Russell.
I'm telling you, when we were at Disney, before they got the Star Wars stuff, you see why Bob Iger paid $4 billion for the Star Wars rights?
Yeah.
Because without that, there's nothing for boys.
No.
Nothing.
No.
So they needed something. And in those days, in a bygone era, there was a lot of stuff for us to choose from.
Let me tell you something.
You please do.
My first trip to Disney as a young man.
Land?
Disneyland. Yeah, it was California.
Yep.
Sure. All I wanted was a coonskin cap. So I got that. And then when I got older, I was able to get Old Betsy, the cap gun.
Of course.
Rifle, which was a treat. And those were treasured possessions. I tell you what, I'm not ashamed to admit that I got emotional and a tear may have crept into my eye or 2.
Okay.
When I was at the Alamo thinking about Davy, and they have obviously some of his stuff
Of course
in
they
the
do.
Alamo Museum.
That's the end of their line.
Yeah. He goes
Interesting.
down swinging. Oh, of course.
A young NBC.
Of course.
Head to toe.
God bless him. It's perfect. It's beautiful.
Locked
But
in.
why did? And I understand why they
You know
did
why,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
it's detracts from the greatness of my original Old Betsy, and had like the gold sticker on the
This
the
one
stock.
did too. Yeah, he's fully geared up
Oh yeah.
in Davy. Yeah, we're big Davy family.
How could you not be?
How could you not be? What's not to like?
He grinned down a bear when he was only 3.
It's great. So good. Yeah.
What about
so
when he's going out there and he's tangling with Bigfoot Mason?
Well, he's got to deal with that guy. He's
And
got
he
to
shoots it right into the same hole.
Yeah, he's got to deal with that guy. Then he's got to deal with the Indian chief guy was pretty formidable as well.
Oh yeah.
That he had to deal with.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Chief Red Stick.
Red Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang Red Stick.
Oh man, good. I think we should in the off season one day. We should do a full on, like a rewatchables.
Be amazing.
We should do that one day.
Best
Week
scene,
in the off season.
Best scene.
A
Apex Mountain
rewatchables,
for Davy
yeah.
Crockett.
Well, for Fess Parker, was that Apex Mountain?
No, probably the winery. Probably the wine.
No, man. Davy Crockett. Like the first thing I think of when I hear his name is Davy Crockett.
Yeah, I think he did really well though on the wines, didn't he?
There's wines. They're solid wines.
No, but I mean financially.
Yeah, I think
he
so.
did quite well.
And he was also he was the titular character of the Daniel Boone TV show, which did very well.
Yeah,
from 64 to 70.
A lot of adventurers, explorers, and adventurers.
He just had
at that time.
look, boy, didn't he? I mean,
yeah, he kind of had the classic look for that. Yeah,
yeah.
All right, it's official. Bubba Ventrone, welcome, assistant head coach, special teams coordinator. There you go. Coach, with this, we're thrilled to add Bubba to our coaching staff. He brings a proven track record as both a player and a coach in this league. As a player, he built a reputation as a top special teamer during his 10-year career. He used that experience to make a successful transition to the sideline, where his units have routinely performed at a high level. He has an infectious passion for the game, and we're excited to have him leading our special teams unit. Can you imagine, like, what next week when we have coach at the combine next week?
Yes.
Anybody?
Yes.
So when we talk to him, and we ask him, I want to see how close he can get to this when we ask him the question, and just in his natural voice.
Andrew Barry Tuesday, Kevin Stefanski
You're saying if
Wednesday.
this quote you want?
Yeah, I want to see how close he can get to it. That's what I want.
What are you implying, Bo?
I'm saying it's really specific. It's very good. Yeah. That's what I'm implying. It's great. It's excited. It's great. Look, we knew this yesterday.
We did.
There you go. So
There
it's
it
done.
is.
It's
Yeah.
good. That's nice. It's good to have him. When will we get a chance to talk to him? Is he coming in here today, Gibby? Bubba?
Say what?
Is Bubba coming in here today?
No.
Monday?
No. Bubba will
Friday.
hang out with all of us the following week. I
following
believe.
week.
Following week. Okay.
Okay.
After post-combine?
Yes. I
There we
think
go.
trying to get everybody on the same page going into Combine first. Like focus on meetings and what you got going on, and then we can do the formalities after the fact.
All right. Okay.
It's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And he's probably trying to get organized. He's
That's
trying to move
exactly.
and get over
Yeah.
here and all that. Yeah. There
Well,
you go.
it's very convenient for him that the combine's coming to Indy.
It is.
Couldn't be better.
He knows all the great restaurants
Yeah, he's set up.
that you want to go to.
By the way, I just tried to make a Wednesday night reservation at Elmo's
No luck.
like 3 weeks in advance.
See,
Gone.
you know what? I wonder. Well, I mean, I know that that this isn't the correct answer, but like, I wonder if you are from Indianapolis, is Elmo's considered the best restaurant in Indianapolis, or is it just
I don't think
something
people go
we
into
all-
downtown.
That's what I think. I think they don't. It's like when we have to walk through that mall, to kind of get around to where you're going, and the thing's got but I think that's malls everywhere. There's like 2 stores open now.
I don't think we're fortunately. I don't think we're. Are we in that one? We're not in that one.
We are not.
Thank
So we're at the end of the strip
was
near
wild.
the JW Marriott.
But not in.
No,
Not
we're
in the
we
woods,
went.
no.
We're the overflow parking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, last
Same
year though
hotel
we
as
were
last
in
year, I bet.
same one as last year. Exactly.
Yeah.
Be my guess.
Yeah.
Down there on the end.
Yeah.
Right across from the NCAA, which last year, because
And
they're
that
my
baseball stadium.
they're my nemesis. So I was like, I just thought I want to walk over there and just see what's going on at the NCAA.
Yeah, what are
Let's
they
go
doing?
see what you're up to.
Yeah.
So I walked over there after our shows. I walked over and just kind of walked in the door and acted like I owned the place. Got quite far actually before anyone was like, we're not closed or whatever. What can you looking for?
I got a tip for you.
I don't know that there were 8 people in the whole operation.
Got a tip for you.
Please.
Walk in carrying a 6-foot ladder.
Yeah,
You'll get to go wherever you want.
I like that.
So on TripAdvisor,
I never question that. There was a.
It's a great question.
so-
That's a great point.
hold
Like,
on. So
no
this
one's
was-
ever gonna.
I'm pretty sure it was showed to me by one of my kids. But this guy, these people were like, they were listening to something. Some guy said, "Here's a life hack. Anywhere you want to go, if you want to get in somewhere that you're not able to get in, just walk in 2 people or 1 carrying a 6-foot ladder." And these people, they showed them do it. They got into like the back of a sports arena. They got into a movie theater. They walked right in the movie theater. The guy goes in, so they sat down and watched a movie with the ladder in the theater with them. They got to, like everywhere they wanted to go.
Yeah.
Any building they wanted to get in, they just walked in with the ladder. And they're like, "Yeah, yo, go. You're coming in to
Because it perfectly looks like it's
coming in to fix something."
right, and there's nothing harmful about it. Like
Right.
it's not like we got to look inside your briefcase or your toolbox. Like
it's
it's
just a
not
ladder.
that. It's just a ladder.
Right.
There's something high I
So
got to fix.
You plan to be standing on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great.
Yeah.
the
Maybe we'll try that.
the travel.
What if we bird holding a ladder?
Oh,
we'll bird
God.
together holding a ladder. Yeah.
Yeah.
that
I gotta
reads
make
some
sure my
poor
bird's
decisions.
operational. Last year my bird wasn't
No, my
operational.
bird's ready.
I got a lot of.
It's gonna spread its wings.
I got currency on that thing. I got to get it back up.
Doesn't
and
look
running.
very warm for us.
I haven't even looked at it.
But not great.
What are we? Gosh.
I think.
By
we're-
the way,
what it
as
just
you're looking
warms the
this
heart
up,
that
God,
that
it does. It
little
makes me so
NBC.
happy. By the way, apparently at Fest Parker Winery,
6-year-old
they sell, in addition to award-winning wines, they do sell coonskin caps and bottle toppers inspired by Parker's Crockett and Boone characters. I feel like I need one of those.
Yeah, I've got a couple of coonskin caps from the boys. So if you want one, I can make that happen.
I think when we do our rewatchables episode this summer, we'll wear them. Don't you think?
Yeah, I'm in. All right, what are we looking at?
So
oh no, like 60 on Monday.
Oh, it's
Little
gotten way
rain.
better.
54, 64 on Wednesday.
It's gotten way better.
Yeah,
It was in the 40s.
60s.
Oh, 60s.
60s. Jeez,
We're going to be thriving.
the rain is going to be a problem on Monday.
It's only
but,
on
I mean,
Monday, though, but Tuesday-
Tuesday's nice. Wednesday's nice.
53 and nothing but sun.
Yeah, we're
Love
living
it.
our best life over
Yeah.
there, birding around.
according to TripAdvisor,
Yeah.
St. Elmo's is the 15th best restaurant
Yeah,
based on reviews. It is a Travelers Award
Yeah.
winner.
It's a landmark. It's like something you do.
Yeah, but if
But
you're
I don't
looking
know
for
if you're, like,
downtown
in the mix.
restaurants,
What?
there's a place called High Velocity. I've actually been there. Number one restaurant in downtown Indianapolis. Connor's Kitchen and Bar, OP Italian, Vita, Livery.
Maybe.
Livery. It's a Latin restaurant. Livery.
Yep.
The Capitol Grill.
Cap Grill.
Camp
Come
Grill,
on, stop
of course, please.
They have Ruth Chris ahead of it.
There's got to be. I'm telling you though, you got to get. I bet you go to like. Is it? I think because in Indiana, I think it's Carmel, as opposed to Carmel.
It's
Yeah.
It's Carmel, California, Carmel, Indiana.
Yes, it is.
I bet you go to like Carmel, Indiana, like where Andrew Luck and those guys live. I bet there you're going to find something.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
guess. Is that you? But I think that's a hike from downtown. I think that's like 35, 40 minutes.
It
from
is.
downtown.
Nothing is close to downtown.
No. The way that they built, it's very much like Columbus, in that epicenter and then everything
Loop.
around.
But that freeway's a good
That's-
20 minutes in any direction.
That's the problem. Columbus was much more tight with its outer loop, 270. So all of those suburbs
Yes.
are popping right off of it.
Yes. Yep.
Whereas Indy, forget it, man.
Yeah, you hit that, and you still got 20 minutes to go before
Yeah.
you're at the hotel.
Yeah, it's a long ways.
I don't understand. Did they think that the metropolis was going to sprawl, so they wanted to
In between or something? I don't know. I don't either. So, do we have the taco joint set up? We got that locked in?
Nada?
Yeah.
That's cool. For Monday or Tuesday?
And we got to sort through that. We got
to sort
we got
out.
the basketball thing. We got going
We're
on
bandying about.
too. Yeah, we got a lot of things.
Oh, we have to sort.
through.
We need to sort.
We got to sort. Got to
Do
get
some
organized. It snuck up on us.
It did.
Yeah, did.
It happens.
A little bit. All of a sudden, here we are, end of February. We're going to Indy. Browns have also reportedly named run game coordinator Ben Bloom as their new defensive line coach, per Albert Breer.
Good for Ben Bloom.
Good for Ben
I
Bloom.
like Ben a lot. He would work with everybody on the defensive side of the ball last year, and so hopefully, this is an opportunity for him. As Albert Breer said, he's considered a rising star in the coaching ranks, and obviously Jim Schwartz liked him and said, yeah, I want to keep working with you, and so he's going to get that opportunity. So good for Ben, and hopefully we're going to get some great defensive line play. That's been a staple of the Jim Schwartz defense, and hopefully we will see that. We need to see it, I would say.
Yeah. You need to. You've got to get You've got to get something out of these guys you drafted. They got to go. You get
Jordan Elliott, Perrion.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Like, it's not going to be a free agent situation. It's not at the highest level.
Not
I don't
highest
think.
level. The only way you get somebody that is elite is if you work out a trade, which is going to cost you, in my mind, either a player that you hold in a high regard, because we don't have high enough picks for people to start getting excited.
Alaska Bureau Chief Ackman 42. The ladder trick definitely works. So does just wearing a safety vest and work clothes. You wear vests and carrying a ladder, I bet you could walk into Area 51. You might be right.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I think we're doing better than that.
Just got to do a little touch-up painting.
Yeah, that's
The
all.
paint's inside.
A little spackle.
I like the fact that it's a 6-foot ladder too. Like, that's a nice number. It's manageable,
Right. One person can hold it.
but also like significant enough that you can't. Couldn't be solved by just standing on a chair.
Correct. Right.
It's a sweet spot. for
It
the ladder.
requires this extra height to successfully complete the task at hand.
Yeah.
Which is an exciting thing.
I like it. Like where your head's at with all of this.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it. So we'll be at the Combine starting Tuesday. We're driving over Monday.
That'd be a Tuesday.
We'll be there for that, and the business will be on from the NFL circles. On the program today, we will have some mock drafts. We will have the fourth and third biggest issues facing this team this offseason. We'll do a little mailbag. We have the All-NFC East roster. We'll
Which
put
is
that together.
loaded.
Yeah, Philly.
Like, too good.
Too good?
It's too good. The defensive
How did this division go from one of the worst in the league to one of the best?
the defensive line is unfair. Like, we're gonna do
make some tough
two interior,
decisions.
two exterior. We're gonna do it like real. This line is
All right.
deserving of that.
Okay. All right. So that's to look forward to. A little bit of mailbag as well. It's a Friday edition. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, coming soon to Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Renew your home for the last time with Renew Home Exteriors Siding and Roofing products. Don't spend all day with high-pressure sales guys. The team at Renew Home Exteriors won't waste your day with hours of negotiating the price of your project. Just an upfront, fair price to make your project easy. Modernize your home with premium siding ranging in every style and color. Renew Home Exterior. Superior products, superior service. Visit RenewEstimate.com for more on that. Had the father-son game last night, 5th grade.
Oh, how was that?
So
A real treat, I bet.
we were it was a close game throughout. Then with about 5 minutes to go, the 5th graders went up 6. And we were doing like subbing every 5 minutes. And my buddy, who I call Worthy, he like goes to sub out. I go, no.
You're not going anywhere.
You're staying in.
Nowhere.
We're not going to have this.
Yeah.
And so they had the ball, and one of them shot a 3. And I'm like, if we would have gone down 9 with 5 minutes, I don't know that we could have come all the way back from that without like having to press. And I really didn't want to work that hard.
Yeah.
So thankfully they didn't. We ended up going up 3, and NBC hit a 3 at the buzzer to send it to overtime.
Stop it.
Swear.
Stop it.
Hits a 3 at the
All right,
buzzer to send it
set
to
the
overtime.
scene for me. Come on.
Drilled it. He came in on the corner, and they got it to him, and he hit a 3 to send it to overtime. So we played the 2
Was
minute.
he going nuts?
Yes, of course he was. He was bouncing around like a maniac. And in the start of the game, I will give him credit for this. Like, he straight up nutmegged me. I was up tight on him. And he threw the ball between my legs and caught it on the other side and went for a layup. He missed the layup, thank God. But I did have to go, pretty good job out of you.
I'm like, are we allowed to say
Yes, we can say that. You say it in soccer all the time.
Gotcha.
Common term, common sporting term. Nothing to be fearful of.
Nothing to be
Gross
fearful
look.
of.
He's safe. Yeah, he got me. But anyway, so then we got to overtime, and I'm like, we can't. Like, there was another dad who's like
We can't
6'5".
lose.
I'm like, get in.
Yeah.
Get in. Like, it's enough of can't play with the little kids anymore. Like, it's time to go.
Yeah, they're not
I'm
at the age
living
where they
with
can
this.
beat us yet.
No, I'm not going to live
No,
with this for
right.
the next year.
No.
That we lost, and I got to hear it from you.
We're not having it.
No, not. So after we ended up winning by 3, and afterwards one of the other dads came up to me and he goes, 8th grade. And I go, what? He goes, 8th grade. That's when we start to lose. And I'm like, well, that's fine, but that's not happening today.
It's 5th
Maybe
grade,
in your
and
world.
Yeah.
Not in my world.
Not happening now.
Not on my watch,
That term
bub.
you just said might be on the Mount Rushmore of things in this show that have made me stop. And
That or Dick Winters. Which one was Dick
Winters.
Winters within the first month is one of the greatest.
Dick Winters was. I almost fell. I mean,
That was an unbelievable.
you've had quite a week. You also
I had.
commented on the style of Buddy Garrity.
I did.
That was this week.
All of it appropriate. Nothing
nothing.
to see here,
No.
Willow. Nothing to see here. All right, as we go around the league, the Rams have parted ways with Bobby Wagner after the first of a 5-year, $50 million. Feels like they're headed. Like it's liquidation sale there. Sounds like Ramsey could be traded too.
Yeah, and it feels like they were doing him a solid, right? They're like, okay, you came here, you were great. Let's let you go somewhere and pursue a title at your late stage in your career. And he's being recruited by everyone in the NFL.
He was an All-Pro again.
So Connor and I, the news came down yesterday, and I'm like, did he lose a step? Did he do? I looked, 140 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 picks.
I think he was a second-team All-Pro linebacker.
Yeah, he led the league in tackles. I'm like, what? I didn't see that coming.
Well, you stopped watching them because they were bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. That's I think it's what is so impressive about Joe is that Joe on bad teams was noticed
by everybody.
by everybody.
Everybody.
He was they found his performance.
That's right.
That's what's remarkable. Like Wagner's played largely for good teams in Seattle, but this LA team was bad and he was noticed. He is a 6-time first-team All-Pro and a 3-time second-time All-Pro. He is a 9-time All-Pro.
Didn't he do it 6 years in a row?
He did do it 6 years in a row, from 2016 to 2020.
So this year he was second-team All-Pro?
Last 2 years, he's second-team All-Pro.
Wow.
9-time All-Pro.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a chance to go down as one of the most well, not a chance, he already is. Like, he may go down as the most decorated linebacker in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely in play. Most definitely in play.
I want to see who's got the most All-Pros by linebacker. Oh, he's already got it.
He's got it.
He's got it. It's him, Chuck Bednarik, Joe Schmidt, Junior Seau. That's it. That's the list. He's got it.
I mean, Willis.
That's a first ballot
Pat
when he's ready.
Willis's run
Of course.
was right there.
He should be a Hall of Famer.
He should be a Hall of Famer. Wasn't he 5 in a row? Patrick Willis?
Yeah, I think he was 5 in a row. So,
While you're
all right.
talking.
I mean, if you call Lawrence Taylor was a linebacker. He's a 3-4 linebacker,
No,
but he's
he's
a
a
rush
pass,
linebacker.
yeah.
He has 10.
Different position.
Yeah, 10. So Ray Lewis has 10, so he would be the most decorated linebacker, standard linebacker is Ray Lewis.
Patrick Willis played 7 seasons in the NFL. He was a Pro Bowler in all 7 and first-team All-Pro in 5 of the 7. Let me get a second-team All-Pro.
He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He should be like the same way they viewed Gale Sayers is how they should view Pat Willis.
And he was second-team All-Pro once.
Yeah, so 6 out of 7 years he was
6 out
All-Pro.
of 7 years he was
And he's not in the Hall of Fame.
not in the Hall of Fame.
That's a joke, man.
Yeah.
That's not right.
No, he was dominant.
Yeah. Most All-Pros all time, Reggie White, incidentally, with 13. Bruce
Jeez.
Smith, 11. Jerry Rice,
Is
11.
that combined?
Yeah. Jerry Rice, 11. Anthony Munoz, 11.
I feel like it should only count first teams.
Oh, I don't.
But if somebody was a 12-time second-team All-Pro, never was first-team All-Pro.
I suppose,
be the top
but
of
I
the
don't know that has ever happened.
I think
Feels
a
like these
first-team
people are
All-Pro should be
mostly-
worth 2 points, and a second-team All-Pro should be
I don't
worth
have a
1
problem
point.
with that. I don't have a
Thank
problem with that.
Thank you.
So those 3 guys with 11, and there's a list at 10 that's about 10 deep. Manning, Lewis, Barry Sanders, Tony Gonzalez, Bruce Matthews, Gino Marchetti, Lawrence Taylor, John Hanna.
So where's
on
the
that
Hoff
list.
at? 8?
The
Has
Hoff.
6 first and 2 seconds?
The Hoff. Yeah, he's 8, 6 and 2.
Yeah, but his 6 first is incredibly impressive.
Sure, yeah, but they still have it at 8. So in terms of active guys, Zach Martin is 8,
Yeah.
and Justin Tucker has 8.
Yeah, well, Justin Tucker's quite
Bobby
good.
Wagner with 9. Those are the
Quite
active guys. Shane Leckler is a 9-time All-Pro.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
He's
the
going to
best-
be. He's not eligible yet.
Best punter ever.
Aaron Donald has 7. Von Miller has 7 in terms of active. Kuechly will be eligible in 2025. If Kuechly's in, then Willis should be in because Kuechly's 7-time All-Pro. Adrian Peterson 7. Kelsey 7.
Yeah, but so
is
was-
active.
What do we say? Willis was 6?
6. Willis
Out
should
of
be
7 years.
in. Yeah, he should be in.
How many years did Kuechly play, though?
Not a whole lot more.
If.
Yeah. Johnny Hecker's got 6.
You're not going to get another.
Jason Peters 6. Cordero Patterson 6.
Earl Patterson might make it. He's got the most kick return touchdowns ever.
Yeah. I didn't know Ndamukong Suh had 5.
Ndamukong Suh was.
C.J. Mosley, Aaron Rodgers only has 5.
Did you say C.J. Mosley
Mhm.
has how many?
5.
C.J. Mosley,
Yep.
the linebacker.
That's right. 5.
There's got to be a lot of second teams.
I would think. It's a big number, right? Petonio 5.
Kuechly,
Julio Jones 5.
5 first-team All-Pros, so that's same as Patrick
Same as
Willis.
Pat.
2 second teams, which gives him the 7 total, and he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mosley
6, 7,
5 second teams.
8 straight. So he shouldn't even be on the
So
list.
that's got to be a different.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be a different
There's got to
list.
be like a number with how many are first team.
Yeah. So Kuechly good too. Yeah, no doubt. But it's similar to if he gets in, Willis should get in. 5 first teams, 7 years, all Pro Bowls, and his best 7-year stretch was all Pro Bowls.
If Terrell
5
Davis
first
is
teams.
in,
Yeah.
then they should be in.
By the way, Luke Kuechly couldn't have been a nicer guy. We talked those week 1. We played
Yeah.
at Carolina, and he's doing. I think he's there. Is he their radio analyst, Gibbe?
It was his first year radio.
First year
analyst.
doing it, yeah. So we had like a really nice talk. And you know what else was really nice that day? Jake Delhomme like sought me out and could not have been nicer.
Did you guys cross paths here?
No,
or just
that was
nothing?
before me.
Before
He said just had heard through his Browns contacts to come seek me out. Jake, daylight come and me wanna Delhomme.
Boomer.
One of
man.
the best.
That's
That was
an
one of the best.
unbelievable one.
Daylight come and me wanna Delhomme.
Just lived like that. Just lived
Me
it.
say day.
So good.
I mean, he had a run where he was just on a real heater. I mean,
No one could drop a 70s lyric juxtaposed to someone's name like him.
you know what I'd be curious to? I'd like, since we're doing like fun little documentaries,
Mhm.
and it wouldn't have to be that long, but I wonder if there was any footage. Like, was it a team Was it him just sitting there and looking at names and him like coming up with every single one of them, or did he have like a crew where they'd go in there and they'd spitball on a whiteboard? You know, like how did we come up with daylight coming? We want a Delhomme. Like was that all Berman? And if there was a team, I feel like they should get some credit at some point for being a part of these things.
Don't know Berman. Never met him.
Chuck New Kids on Knobloch. I mean, like that feels like that wasn't him. He's not listening to the New Kids.
No, that wouldn't be him. He would be 7. Yeah, like he's anything with the Eagles.
So is this a team of like a team
Producers, probably, maybe.
That's what I want. Don't you
Knowing
think
him,
that'd be fun?
for sure, but knowing him just from 30,000 feet, does he seem like someone who would give credit to something that he did that he didn't do?
This is what I want. I want.
Gloss right over.
I'm gonna go right past that. I'm going.
Right.
I want a little mini documentary on the coming up of it, and then at the end you have like an unveiling of his top 10 nicknames of all time.
I don't have a problem with that. I'm interested. I'm for it.
I'd watch that if it was an hour show.
Maybe 30 minutes. Like a Peyton's Places.
You're talking
Peyton's Places.
Fine.
That's the perfect.
Well, an hour show's 38 minutes.
But I mean, like, it might be a quick reveal, and I don't know if you can spread it.
Well,
I
the
think
process,
Peyton's
I think,
Places,
if the process is interesting, and if there's some old archival footage of them in there
key.
throwing
They would
stuff
need to
up,
see
and you're
that.
like, oh god, New Kids on Knobloch, that's great.
Yeah, that would be very good. I think I think a Peyton's Places on it feels like a home run. 24 minutes.
Let's tell him.
Yeah. Well, Hoff's got his number.
Yeah, welcome. Well,
you're welcome.
I was so mad though. I'm mad at the Hoff now, and I guess it's because he's moved on. But he was talking about Peyton Manning welcoming the Hall of Fame and how it meant so. He's like, because I used to know him from my playing days, but he used to always drop, from the Pro Bowl. We'd hang out at the Pro Bowl, but now that they're now we hang out in the Hall of Fame.
We're in the Hall of Fame now, so no big deal.
By the way, he's got the right attitude about this.
Do you remember that the show that we did when he was in here, and we kind of made his wires all cross when we talked about, like, do you ever look back on that decision to not go to Denver and think about, like, would you have ever ended up living in Denver? Would you have settled in Denver?
That continued on text after.
Yeah, right. Like that,
he was.
He texted us like an hour later, and he was still in a noodle about it. It was good.
I think the two things that have put him in that was one where he was just like
that whole other side of it, the alternate life of it,
and then this guy being like an enemy of the show, he just couldn't get his head around.
Wait a second, you're not here to make their lives easier? No, far from it. Oh, those two are both great. 3 teams have most recently called for Derek Carr, the Jets and the Saints, but 3 more teams. My guess is that it would be who? Let's pick them. Carolina.
By the way, what a garbage report.
Yeah.
Who? It's a report when you tell me who these teams are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, Carolina.
I mean, we used to have a guy on that would give you that, but I can't tell you anything. I know it. But I can't tell you.
I can't wait.
I was just on with him this week.
You were?
No, you were not.
I didn't even know he had an outlet.
Sirius XM Fantasy. He does a show with the Guru, the great Guru. Who's on our show.
My God!
No. How did you not tell us?
By the way, the best.
Didn't I get him at the combine with that? Didn't I drop that on him? Like,
of course.
Yeah, that was a wonderful.
I'm pretty sure he hadn't been back since.
We.
he had no idea it was going on. He thought it was praise.
Right up.
Yeah.
The Guru has me on Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday morning. And so, he does a very nice intro of me and the whole deal. And then, he's like, buddy, first time we've talked, Happy New Year. And I'm like, he's like, I know it's like late for that. I was like, Guru, of all the people in the world, you have been on Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's an episode starring your boy LD, 3 days max.
3 days.
And here you are in not even
March.
We're past the middle of February. He hit me with a Happy New Year. He really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good. That's outrageous. Right. Yeah, February 24th.
Outrageous.
Happy New Year.
I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah. Carolina.
Okay, Carolina. Sure. I'm in.
Would Seattle?
No, I'm gonna give you a little surprise one.
All right, who do you got?
Miami.
You think? Yeah, I mean, if with the Tua stuff, I mean, it'd be the smart thing to do, to hedge, on Tua with the injuries.
Indy.
That would seem to make sense. Then they wouldn't be held hostage at the top of the
draft.
draft.
If they go from like Phil Rivers to Matt Ryan to Derek Carr, like Carson Wentz in there, a Jacoby before, like we're trying.
Yeah. What about New England?
So I saw one of those guys who's really dialed in on the Pats.
Darlington?
Rice?
Mm-mm.
Volan?
No.
Not that.
Reese?
Reese.
Yeah, Mike
that's
Reese.
him.
Mike
Yeah,
Reese.
Reese.
Mike Reese.
I call him Rice.
He said there's no. He goes, over Bob Kraft's dead body, would they move off of Mac Jones? So,
That's a poor decision.
well, if you're Bob Kraft, like at what point are you saying, hey Bill, maybe you're the problem? Know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
You're not crushing it.
but you're not crushing it.
I don't
Did
know.
you guys-
Looking at our all AFC East team yesterday, a lot of Patriots still on that team.
Defensive guys.
Yeah.
This story in The Athletic, the Russell Wilson story. Did you guys have a chance to read this? I read this morning. It's amazing.
I did not read it line for line, but I got the gist of it that basically he wanted them out.
Oh, in February of last year, he demanded that the Seahawks fire Pete Carroll and John Schneider, and within 5 days he was traded. So when you say, how did that happen out of the clear blue sky? That's how.
There have
That's how
been
that trade
rumblings
happened.
about it for 2 years.
Right,
now.
but I mean, in terms of like, there was nothing, and then all of a sudden he was traded.
Yeah.
And the whole business was done. The other thing that is really interesting, so then Wilson's trying to cover his tracks on
he's
all of
saying
this.
no. He's saying that's not true.
Yeah, he goes, I love Pete. He was a father figure to me, and John believed in me and drafted me. I never wanted them fired. All any of us wanted was to win. I'll always have respect for them and love for Seattle. Is Wilson on that one?
So he kind of denies it in there. I never
sort
wanted
of.
them fired.
Yeah, well, he does. That's a straight
Well,
up
he-
denial. But the
No, it
rest
isn't.
of this.
Hold on a second. There's a difference semantically between in your heart, I love him. I never wanted them fired. I never wanted it to come to this.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I did ask for it
you
to
could
happen.
play that
I
game.
didn't want it to happen.
That's true.
But it had to happen.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. I don't hear that I never went and asked for them to be fired.
No, that's true.
That's
you also, semantics are key here. Also in this story is basically what was going on in Denver. They basically gave him keys to the castle. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, Sean Payton's not having that.
No, not at all. So that's all done. But it's pretty interesting. You think about athletes who had a almost entirely positive, like largely positive feeling about them, and then without doing anything morally corrupt or also not doing anything illegal to become someone who is so unpopular so quickly. Like it's like him and Phil Mickelson and LeBron with the decision. Like those are like the ones that I could think of that just what happened here, man. And I think some of the thing with Wilson is, I've said this before, when you play in Seattle, no one notices, man.
You can be a kind of anonymous. I mean, you could tell that his teammates did not like
For
him,
sure.
and that he was a little bit odd.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a worthwhile read.
Yeah.
The full thing.
Yep.
The full Monty.
Yep.
Okay.
Vance Joseph returning to the Broncos as their new defensive coordinator 4 years after firing as their head coach.
Totally different regime. People are like, it's so crazy. Like none of the people that
different
were
bosses,
responsible for hiring or firing him are there.
No. Yeah.
I mean,
great
maybe
place
loosely,
to live.
but it's a different right.
Iconic franchise. You're working with Sean Payton. You're gonna have. You want to
Sure.
talk about like as long as you don't blow it, you're gonna be there for a while.
Well, that's what I was saying in talking. When people are looking at what jobs to take, I said if you're going to go and join a staff, like the Denver staff feels like a good one to join because Sean Payton isn't going anywhere for a while, which means you are not going anywhere for a while as long as you do your job at a reasonable level.
Put down roots. Put your kids in school.
By the way, Derek Carr, according to reports, Derek Carr is seeking $35 million per year in his next contract.
It's kind of a bargain, isn't it?
Doesn't feel bad. It would tie him with Kirk Cousins in annual earnings and sit just ahead of Jared Goff if he gets his desired deal. Carr's already visited the Saints and Jets, the Titans and Panthers.
Titans, I did not have them.
The Titans and Panthers have also been linked to him, but no meetings have been reported on.
What's
so those
Tannehill
could be
got
two
left?
of the other three.
I think
Nothing.
Tannehill's gone anyway, but
And Malik Willis,
is not ready.
not ready.
But it seemed to me like they would be more in line of like, hey, let's go be bad. Here's the thing to watch for next year. The next year's, and I understand that there's going to be quarterbacks taken at the top of this year's draft. Next year's quarterback class is going to be really good. It's going to be like the Burrow-Herbert one with Caleb Williams and Drake May at the top, the Carolina kid, then the Heisman winner at USC. It's loaded at the top. So there will be a race to the bottom next year, and you have to – who are the teams that are going to be in position to go do that? But that'll be something to watch.
Just a quick little draft note as we continue to go around the league here. A couple things. Jeremy Fowler reporting NFL teams have draft grades ranging from the first round to the fourth round on Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson.
How did he become like the thing this week?
I don't know. Said
Slow week.
One general manager said he's Cam Newton and Justin Fields combined. Doesn't mean he can throw the ball very effectively.
Yeah.
Said I've never seen a
Guy might
bigger
be in the
variance
unemployment line in 2 years.
league-wide. Out of Detroit, Aaron Glenn, former Browns coach and
Yep.
great dude, will get a contract extension. And also it feels like this could be the end of DeAndre Swift in Detroit due to his injury history and what they got out of Jamal Williams. And then the last
He's
one
one
is
of those guys. When he plays, he's good.
He's really good.
Yeah.
and then more and more stuff out of Cincinnati that Bates is not going to be back. But, I mean, I feel like that is, to me, it's such a surprise that it is the most – it's not even a discussion that he's coming back. Like, he is gone. Everybody we've had on has said he's gone.
But I felt like that a year ago when they franchised him. I think even
They
he was
can't
like –
pay everybody, and if they want their priorities, as they should be, are going to be on Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. Yeah. That's the priority. But no, you're right, Gibby.
Like I just remember a year ago, he was like, "I'm going to accept this, but a year from now, this will not be accepted."
It's over.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we hit Z's number 4 and number 3 biggest needs for us this offseason. That's coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, coming soon to Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Let's get help getting back into the game. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk and Elk's a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time to continue our countdown to the 10 biggest needs for the Browns this offseason with numbers 4 and 3 with Dr. Z. Do we want to refresh?
Sure, we'll do a refresh.
Quick refresh.
Number 10, a true slot cornerback, and that's probably for depth, either a free agent or in the draft. Number 9, true center field free safety. Obviously, that requires some moving around, or that could be the third person that comes in, and we want to play some big stuff for that person in the center, and you bring both Delpit and John Johnson down. Number 8, a big step forward for, actually, number 8, bring back Ethan Posick at center.
There you go.
Number 7, a big step forward for Jed Wills. Number 6, more consistency from Cade York. Number 5, bulking up the interior of the defensive line, some beef and some pass rush. Maybe a big trade there. Maybe you get a superstar there, or maybe Jim Schwartz makes a superstar, which brings us to number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
All right, this to me is the biggest tangible need on the offense. It is a speed wide receiver.
Whoa.
It is getting somebody who can stretch the field, create space vertically and horizontally to allow Amari Cooper to get more man coverage, which he dominates. For Donovan Peoples-Jones, more space for David Njoku down the seam, more space for Nick Chubb in the running game, more opportunities for downfield passing, a hallmark of what Deshaun Watson likes to do. I think this is critical. You either find one, I think, with your second-round pick, or you find one as in free agency.
Electricity.
No, snub.
It's important for people to pay attention to. We were talking about semantics with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
We were talking about. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Little semantics with Russell Wilson. You said the number 1 tangible. Because my reaction to this was, whoa! Because this was number 1. This is number 1 for me. Speed receiver. Got to find it. But that's roster. So tangible is important.
Right.
It's an important part of that. So this is your number 1 roster improvement, your number 4 offseason need.
That's actually my number 2.
Number 2 roster improvement.
It's my number 2
From
roster
a player.
improvement.
Okay. All right.
You want to get you'll get my number 1 right now.
Let's do it. Number 3.
Number 3, and this is the final tangible roster improvement type of a situation. We need an edge opposite Myles Garrett. I mean, right now on our roster in the defensive end room, here's what you got. Myles Garrett, 16 sacks, beast, monster. Alex Wright, your third-round pick a year ago, no sacks, 13 tackles in 7 games, did have 5 passes defense, but certainly didn't give off the I'm ready to take over full-time opposite Myles Garrett vibe. Now, can he progress forward? Perhaps, but you need a starting defensive end out there. You also have Isaiah Thomas, who had 1 sack and 4 tackles in 10 games. Your free agents, Clowney, he's not coming back. Chase Winovich, who I liked but is a rotational player. I like Chase a lot. I actually hope he comes back. I think he's a great dude. He had a sack, 14 tackles in 8 games, had the pick 6, came on strong. But we don't have a real number 2 on this defensive line. This defense is based around the defensive line's ability to dominate. You need somebody for Myles Garrett. We were still, and I'll go back to this, and you're going to say, well, how could speed receiver not be number 1? Speed receiver is so important. But without that, and with Jacoby Brissett, we were a top 10 offense. So we can still be functional there. Yes, we want that. But I think we need a starting defensive end opposite Myles Garrett. And I think that our second-round pick, a lot of people are looking at defensive tackle. My guess is that pick is an edge or a receiver. That's the way that I see that going. All right, come at me.
No, I'm not going to come at you.
No, you're not happy.
I'm not interested. No,
No,
I would have
come
had.
at me.
I would have had. So, going into the postseason,
Okay.
I would have said this, and D tackle. Like these D line, great. Give me a good one, great one. I think you need a great one. Whether it's, and I'm not as, I don't. It doesn't have to be D end or D tackle. Like if there was a dude D tackle and we could piecemeal together the D end.
If you could go make a big time trade, let's say there's somebody out there, like take a guy who's already been traded, DeForest Buckner, has no guaranteed money left back in Indianapolis. Let's say you could go and somehow make an acquisition for him. I'd imagine that's going to hurt you somewhere else on your roster currently, but that's fine. That gives you 2. You still want to have more to work with. I mean, Philly had 4 dudes with double-digit sacks and Fletcher Cox, who was not one of those 4.
Right.
And Jordan Davis. And then they brought in Ndamukong Suh and Akeem Hicks and all the things they did. But I think you want to have another – I think
I guess my point is I don't care if it's in the middle
Fine.
or on the edge. I do think they need another dude on the D line.
I think that's more that dude we're referencing is more important than getting a speed receiver because our speed. It is unlikely that we are going to be able to acquire it's not like we're bringing in a Tyreek Hill.
Oh no.
So we're bringing he's a piece. We're talking about a dude to me
that's true.
is more
I
important
see what
than
you're saying.
a piece of what we want to enhance our other dudes.
Yeah. You make a very good argument. The reason the speed thing hits
Because we want to score.
is because I just think the best teams in this league are in our conference, with the exception of Philly. They're in our conference, and they all score in bunches. And for us to score in bunches, we need someone to give some space underneath so Amari can work, so the Chief can work, so the DPJ can work on the outside. You need somebody to take the top off. So they're 1 and 2. But I guess the thing I like about your point is you need a dude in this on the D line, whether it's tackle or end. You went end, fine. You don't need a dude speed. You just need a speed. You need somebody capable who can run 25 rounds, who can routes deep and can catch the ball.
Here's
That's
the thing.
it.
Amari Cooper had a career year. Donovan Peoples-Jones had a career year. David Njoku had a career year. He was 30 yards off of his career high in yards.
Mm-hmm.
Without that. So, this is an enhancer. This is like an accoutrement. This is like having prime rib and saying, here is a beautiful Napa cab to have with it.
Oh, yeah.
Or an au jus.
Yeah.
Or if we're getting crazy,
sort of
here's a nice crab
accoutrement.
leg that we're just for fun. Why not?
No one has ever gotten hurt with a crab leg.
Nope. Well, that's not true.
Well, that's true. Could get hurt. But anytime that needs to be an add-on.
For the table. Just get crab legs for the table. You're going to thank me later.
Yeah, that's
what we say.
That's the way you
So,
do that. By the way, don't come to me with the crab leg that isn't split. That thing better be ready to go upon arrival. I don't want to have to do all the work. You do the work. Bring it to me split.
Fine. If it's one of the legs that look like this, which is what I like to get into, and you have the thing where you can just slide it through, there is a satisfaction in that.
Sure.
And then pulling out that great chunk of meat, give it a little, I make a little habanero butter.
Sure you do.
It's actually a habanero ghee melted down. Little dips heat.
Right through. Yeah. Spectacular. I mean,
sometimes you have to do that and pull that. You have to pull that little thing, one little thing in.
Yeah, the little tendon or whatever there's in the middle. Yeah, get that guy out of the mix.
God, I'm making my mouth
Yeah,
water.
so good. It's undefeated. I like it. I like your reasoning. I like your example of because you need a dude. The speed guy doesn't have to be a dude.
Right. The speed guy's going to be a role player. Like if
correct.
In free agency, for example, McCole Hardman. He's coming in. He's going to fundamentally change our offense.
To me, he would check the box.
Checks the box.
I'd be like, perfect. That's great. That's
but you're not bringing him in to be.
He's not catching 70 balls.
1,200 yards and 10.
No. And you need a guy.
But we need
who's a 10 sack guy.
We need a dude.
Yeah, an 8 to 12 sack guy.
Do you know what? Okay, Gibbe.
Hey, get back.
Yes.
All right, guess the stats, Gibbe. Myles Garrett led our team with 16 sacks. Who was second and with how many?
Oh, jeez.
Do you have a guess without looking? You can participate.
Oof.
I mean, I think the number's like 5.
I was thinking 3 or 4.
Give me a name and a number. You have 2 chances to be right. Name and a number.
I would say Clowney at 3.
Okay.
How many
I don't think Winovich played enough.
What do you like?
But I could be wrong.
Did Perrion have 3?
No, he had 2 wiped out by penalty.
Oh, sad. Hate to see it.
Was it a linebacker?
How many?
4.
Okay. The answer is Taven Bryan with 3. All right. Who's third? Third, and how many?
Winovich with 2.
1.
Okay. Gibbe.
That's awful.
Gibbe. Who's your guess for third?
I might say JOK with 1. I was also thinking a corner.
The answer, Deion Jones
Oh, my God.
with 2.5.
He played 4 games, 5 games?
11 games, 5 starts as an off-ball linebacker.
Oh,
that's
that's-
just on linebacker blitzes. Our defensive line, Myles Garrett, 16. Okay, so you count out. I need somebody to do the summation for me.
Yep.
Here's our defensive line sacks after Myles Garrett.
Yep.
Taven Bryan, 3. Jordan Elliott, 2. Clowney, 2. That's 7. Winovich, 1, 8. Isaiah Thomas, 1, 9. Perrion, half, 9.5. Togiai, half, 10. 10. 10. Okay. Is anybody else experiencing this? You've heard this phone vibrating nonstop. Some spam company has gotten my number.
Do you just block it every time?
Yeah, but it changes.
I put it out on everything.
It changes all the time. Every one of those misses. Spam.
Don't you do the thing?
Spam. It says spam.
Do the
spam.
thing.
Spam.
Do the thing where if you don't recognize it, it goes straight to voicemail.
How do I do that?
It's in your settings. You can do a thing where if you don't recognize the number, it goes straight to voicemail.
It doesn't. I'm gonna look this up. It just they're out of control.
Let's just go back to the fact that Myles Garrett had 16 sacks and the rest of the defensive line had 10.
10.
That's not
10.
Great.
Well, that's why.
That's why this is it. Yeah.
Hence, this is why it's there.
also why this isn't a piece. This is a dude. A dude is needed, whether it's at D tackle or D end. You can do one or the other, but you got to have a dude.
You need a dude to
wreak havoc.
Josh Uche, who had went in.
Yeah.
Second round pick and ended up with 11.5 sacks we said yesterday for New England when we did that division. By the way, NFC East, which we're going to do in a second, is it's basically the NFC Pro Bowl team with a couple of exceptions.
Right.
Which is outrageous.
Yeah. Well, especially on the line. I mean, all those teams have good lines. They have good rush guys. Phillies
There's too many people. I mean,
Washington's really good on their line.
There are too many people.
Yeah, to make it. Yeah.
They have the four of the 6 maybe best. So Aaron, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Aaron Donald, Chris Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is a dominant interior defensive lineman? DeForest Buckner.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have 4 of those that ilk. Not Aaron Donald, obviously, but they outplayed Aaron Donald this year.
Yeah.
Because of his injury. Just in this division alone.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about? You mentioned the crab. Who do you think was the first guy that looked at it in the ocean and said, I bet there's good meat in there? And said, I'm going to go through what it
juicy
takes.
And sweet.
But what it takes to get it out, to extract
Way
it.
too much effort.
Can you imagine, reaching in there, pricklers everywhere. It's hard. The first time you're doing it, my guess is it goes way back.
How do people discover bread and cakes?
Well, you make that, though. This is
How do
something
they discover making it?
This is something in the world that you just saw. You're looking at it, and you go, I think I can eat it. And I bet there's something great in it.
Who decided they were going to eat escargot?
Well, no, I agreed, but this is formidable.
It's scary.
I mean, you look at that thing. There's a lot going on.
And then you eat it, and at the time you don't have the
Snappers.
butter. You don't have the butter.
There's no butter. You've got the.
I feel like a king crab snapper is pretty weak, though.
I don't know. I've never tried to take one in the wild.
I've never on Wild Boys. They never was like, oh.
Isn't that what the one
crab.
show on Discovery where they're crab fishing?
But it's dangerous to go get them.
When I cook them,
Yeah.
I always split them for people.
Yeah.
At the meal, I always cut up and split them so that they just pop open and you get what you want. I've actually used a chafing dish, and I'll just put the butter in there and I just put all the meat in there. So you can just get what you want out of it.
That's
make
a great
it easier.
move.
Yeah. But you need to have a little. You got to have a little bit of a rubber glove.
Oh yeah, dude.
Otherwise, you're getting
pricklers,
popped, man. Not great. Although what's inside is. All right, second hour up next. We'll take a look at some mock drafts as we head into the Combine. We'll pick our All-NFC East roster, which Z says is like all Madden. It's like an all Madden roster that we're going to put together. So you have that to look forward to, which is nice. A little mailbag. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet. Coming soon to Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Love by The Cure.
Yeah, great song.
So on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, they have so that it's set to. So what's cool about it is, well, there's a bunch that's cool about it.
Yeah.
But one of the things they do is the coaster. So you're in the carts or whatever, and then in addition to going on the track, they move. So if your cart is on the track, okay, as you're turning, it's turning on the track.
Got it.
To look at like a scene in a movie.
That's how like the Harry Potter
movie.
does.
Like
Yep.
it goes like this, and then it'll spin all the way around. Like you start out, we were in the back, and then as you went up, it kind of stopped, and we went like this, and we became the front of the car, of the train. So that's the way it worked. Well, one of the things that they do with it, in addition to scenes from Guardians, is they play music
From the 80s.
to match the ride.
Right.
So the second time we did it, it was Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Tears for Fears. And the first time they
It's
did
from
it,
his mixtape. It's from the guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the number one was
Sorry.
Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, by Flock of Seagulls. So that's a song that I hadn't heard in forever. Fantastic.
Great song, and I associate it with the Grand Theft Auto ads.
That's so somebody else said that to me too, that apparently was like, was it Vice City or
Vice City,
something that came in and they dropped it on it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. Great trailer.
Yeah.
Holds up.
Yeah, for sure.
Very much holds up. So that was good. And then it gets you into a world where they play all those. You get a little Salisbury Hill from Peter Gabriel.
Ugh.
Nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
No one's getting hurt.
Nobody's getting hurt. Peter Gabriel's got
He's got a lot of
quite
bangers.
a catalog, dude. Quite a catalog.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like with Pete. All right, we got some mock drafts as we head into the Combine week. I know that one of the things that's been really annoying to me this week is the Anthony Richardson stuff. And I think that there was like somebody from CBS picked him to go number 1 overall. There's zero chance that's happening, man. None. Zero. And I saw Albright tweet this out. He's like, just do smart and understand it's going to be Bryce Young. Like, that's what it's going to be. Like, everything else is nonsense between now and then. Eric Edholm of the NFL Network with his mock draft. Some big picture stuff. 4 quarterbacks in the top 10. Jackson Smith and Jigba goes 26 to Dallas. That is theft. If that happens, that's theft. Third and final wide
fit
receiver.
for them, right?
It's an unbelievable fit for them. The Jordan Addison out of USC going to the Chargers at 21, and Quentin Johnston to TCU, the second wide receiver, 25 to the Giants. Do not pass on Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think this week he gets his juice back at the Combine.
Gibbe,
Yes, sir.
we need to queue up Dabo Sweeney for Bo right now.
What about Dabo?
Sammy Watkins. Don't be that guy.
I thought he did that with our guy. Didn't you do that with Deshaun?
No, it was
No.
Sammy
It
Watkins.
was
did
Sammy
Watkins.
Watkins.
Don't be
The
that
fir-
guy.
His debut was Sammy Watkins.
For with us was Sammy Watkins. Don't be
Oh.
that guy. Pass on Sammy Watkins.
Oh, you guys had him on
Browns Daily.
on Browns
Oh,
Daily
yeah.
talking about Sammy Watkins.
yeah.
And Sammy went 4th. Something
And-
high, right?
And we traded out of that pick, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember that draft, but I mean that was right.
That was Khalil. It was Clowney. If I could do
Okay.
this off the top of my head. Clowney.
He'd know.
Blake Bortles went 3rd.
Yep.
Khalil Mack
Okay.
was 4th maybe.
Out of Buffalo.
And then Sammy Watkins.
Watkins was high for sure.
Let's see.
Yeah.
This was a loaded draft.
Clowney went number 1. Greg Robinson
Greg
went number
Robinson,
Oh,
2.
two,
okay.
too. Yep.
How'd that all work out? Did he avoid
I don't know. I don't believe
I'll give
so.
you who went number 3.
Blake Bortles.
Bortles, right?
Yes.
Then Watkins, then Mack. Yeah.
I
Yes,
thought
Watkins
Watkins
to the
was 4.
Bills.
Didn't we move back?
DeAndre Hopkins played in the same receiving core with him, and I think Martavius Bryant. They all were at Clemson at the same time.
Loaded.
Yeah.
This draft went Clowney, Robinson, Bortles, Sammy Watkins, Khalil Mack. Okay.
Yes.
Here are all the people that have been Pro Bowlers out of the first round. Clowney, Sammy Watkins, Khalil Mack, Jake Matthews, Mike Evans, Anthony Barr, Taylor Lewan. You also Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Donald, Kyle Fuller, Shazier, Zach Martin, C.J. Mosley, Jawan James, Brandon Cooks, HaHa Clinton Dix, D. Ford, Darquez Denard, Jason Verrett,
Good grief.
So
Jimmy Ward, Bradley Roby, Teddy Bridgewater, and then second round starts off with Xavier Suafilo, DeMarcus Lawrence, Joel Bitonio, Derek Carr are 3 of the first 4 picks in the second round.
Pretty good.
Jeez.
by the way, so we trade out of that pick with the Bills.
We did, right?
Yep, and we got
22, which is John Football.
yes, but then we also made another We
took
acquired the
Gilbert
number
and
9 pick from the
Manziel.
Bills. We also acquired the number 8 pick from the Vikings.
Because the
flipped.
Vikings like defaulted, I feel like, on their time or something.
That did happen when they couldn't get their pickup.
But that wasn't maybe that was our draft. Maybe we did
no,
move up
no,
one spot.
So
We did move up one spot. We moved
Khalil
from 9
Mack
to 8
goes
to take a person
5.
that they weren't taking.
Jake Matthews 6th, Mike Evans 7th.
Yep.
At number 8, the Browns, Justin Gilbert.
Who's the next corner that's taken?
The
Kyle
next corner is
Okay.
Kyle Fuller.
All right, so let's say you just take Kyle Fuller and Derek Carr. Is he the
I'd
next
like to think
quarterback
things are a
taking
little
instead of
better.
football? Mr. Zagura.
How about
Well, I'm not saying ideal, but let's say you were hell-bent on taking corners and quarterbacks.
okay?
Let's say you had to pick them.
Yeah,
The next guy at each, what does it net you?
yeah, that's what it would have been. Kyle Fuller and Derek. Well, quarterback it would have been Kyle Fuller and Bridgewater,
Bridgewater. Yeah.
which still would have been fine. Maybe he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you could have stayed exactly where you were at 9 and 22, and you could have come out of there and revamped your defense forever with Aaron Donald and DeMarcus Lawrence.
Well, that's a bit of a game record there, yeah. Eric Edholm's mock draft. He has the Bears taking Jalen Carter first. If the Bears stay at 1 and take Jalen Carter first, then they should all be fired.
Well, there's no trades allowed in this mock. That's
Oh, he
why.
doesn't allow trades.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know
If
what?
that makes you feel
Here's what
better.
I would do. I would just still take Bryce Young and trade him later.
Yeah, right.
So he's got Bryce Young going to Houston, Will Anderson going 3rd, Will Levis 4. Going to be a lot of Will Levis love.
I'll be honest with you. It's hard for me to even look at these.
I know. Stroud going 6 to Detroit.
That's why I try to pick out like the big notes. Where the Buckeyes going,
Yeah.
where the quarterback's
So they got
going.
Paris
Johnson
Johnson going 7, so 2 Buckeyes in the top 10. I don't think
Anthony
Detroit.
Richardson to Carolina at 9.
I don't think Detroit should not take a quarterback. They should
No.
go win with what they have.
Yeah.
Goff's been to a Super Bowl. Like, he's good enough, man.
Steelers take a
Buoy your own
defensive
team.
lineman from Clemson. Brian Brees. We'll have to ask Scarlett about him.
He's a nice player. He's a 5-star kid.
The kid that transferred to USC goes to the Chargers.
Addison.
That'd
Jordan
be nice
Addison.
for Herbert.
Well, they're going to lose Allen,
Yeah, I would imagine.
probably. Like, to me, if you're – Jordan Addison's a nice player. He won the Blitnikoff at Pitt 2 years ago. If you're going to put somebody in that offense with Herbert and Jackson Smith and Jigba's on the board and you don't take him, I can't help you.
Especially if he's a slot, he feels like he replaces.
He could do
Keenan
both.
Allen
He
right
played
away.
the slot because they had
Yeah.
Olave and Wilson. In a year where
Bengals
they
were
had
tight.
Wilson and Olave, Smith and Jigba was the best receiver.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in a room that had those two guys and Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Ibuka, who will both be first-round picks next year, he was the best receiver. So he's good.
Don't be that guy.
Don't do it.
I tweeted out earlier this week. Don't sleep on Jax.
Don't do it.
Don't be those.
Well, it's not
Don't do
much
it.
better in Daniel Jeremiah's.
Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network. C.J. Stroud goes Indy at 4. That makes a lot of sense to me. He's got Smith and Jigba going to Seattle at 20, second receiver off the board. A lot of D-line and corners in his draft. He has no trades as well, so he's got Jalen Carter as well, Young too. These are silly because I don't know why why handcuff him this way. Like, here's how I would do this. I know what they're trying to get him to do. If you were here, what would you do if you can't trade?
Yeah.
The smart thing to do if you were Chicago would be to draft Bryce Young
Right.
and then trade him.
No matter what.
No matter what. Deal with it later. Stroud's got a chance. He'll have a really good I bet he has a really good pro day, and I bet he's really good if he throws at the combine.
And Houston should draft if they get their quarterback, they should take a receiver with their second pick. Just
Absolutely.
makes no sense not to. And if they end up, let's say they end up with Stroud,
Smith and Jigba.
take Smith and Jigba. Right.
You're set. Yeah, I like that a lot. This is from CBS Sports. What do you got here, Gibbe? Yes, Mr. Zagura.
So this is in the Jeremiah one. He's got Anthony Richardson to Detroit. That wouldn't be against.
Like 2-3 year project guy.
Yeah. They have 2 1s, right? So
Is it their first one or their second
no, they're
one?
second. They're like 18. They get him. So he sits. It's Goff's team. You got another piece for Goff, and then you go and see what you can do.
Yeah. So this is who put this together? This NFL free agency mock draft. I don't know who this gentleman is.
I don't know. He's got a nice picture though.
Hold on.
All right. So
He
they
doesn't- he
use.
doesn't even get a byline.
It doesn't matter.
So basically, what they did was
If
they
all these
took
guys
the free
were drafted.
agency, and then they just said, like, if free agency was actually a draft, like, can we mock draft the free agents?
Let me ask you a question. Would this be interesting?
I actually was intrigued by it.
Like if you could draft free agents, like when their contracts are up, like you could draft them, like no freedom of player movement.
It'd be hilarious. So this is based on, instead of using the draft order, this is based on the order of cap space available.
So they have the Bears with Javon Hargrave going number 1
Yep.
on this. Zach Allen.
Marcus Davenport's an interesting name.
Juju for the Ravens? Really?
Browns bring back Jordan Poyer, baby.
I love that.
I like that too.
I like that a lot. Carr to the Commies. Odell to the Chiefs. Wouldn't he be resurrected there?
So it was Cody Benjamin, by the
yeah.
way.
I could see Odell having like 800 yards in Kansas City and staying healthy.
I could see him. I think that could go a few ways, but I think the
think
most likely outcome is very good.
Don't you think they're like impervious to nonsense though, with Mahomes and Reed at the top?
It feels like it.
Saquon Barkley to the Cowboys.
No
While
way.
you're here. Garoppolo to the Dolphins. Josh Jacobs Bills. That'd be something for them.
Jeez Louise.
Paris Campbell to the Chargers. Jesse Bates
To the Vikes.
to the Vikes.
Yannick Ngakoue. I'm not afraid of Yannick Ngakoue.
How old is Yannick Ngakoue?
I don't know, but I was a big Yannick Ngakoue fan. Always have been.
Yeah, I like that too. All right, we got a little mailbag coming your way next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, coming soon to Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Are one of the most passionate fan bases in the NFL. Join the Browns season ticket member waitlist today for the best chance at securing tickets for all home games in future seasons. Don't miss out. Go to clevelandbrowns.com/tickets or call 440-891-5050 to reserve your spot today. Little mailbag on a Friday.
had
We
some
got some
leftovers
leftover
we didn't
goodies.
get
Some
to.
goodies.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
First one, saw it yesterday from Dan Orlovsky, our good friend from ESPN.
Okay.
Team pizza, team pasta, have to pick one. Go.
Team pizza.
Team pasta. I love pasta. There's so many different sauces I can do. I can do a pesto with shrimp. I can do a vodka sauce.
What do you mean?
I can
Like
do a
you're saying,
sauceless
like
pasta.
your
I
whole
can do a
team's going to
rigatoni
go do
bolognese.
something, right?
I thought he's
I
saying,
think
am
he's
I
saying,
on?
are you team
if I had to give
pasta?
up
Are you team
Oh,
pizza?
pasta or pizza
I
for the rest of
thought
my
it-
life, I give up pizza.
When you said that, I thought you meant like
Can be any kind of pizza.
we're all
any
going
kind of-
out
Yeah.
to eat as a team. Which do you
No,
prefer?
like you can only have pasta or pizza for the rest of your life.
Pizza all
I got
the way.
I got news for you on pasta. I've decided that I really just like the sauces.
I love pasta.
Like I like a bolognese on its own.
Sure, it's great on its own.
Like I don't really need it with any of the like chicken parm or the like if I make any of that or veal parm or eggplant, none of that. Marsala, piccata.
What about a,
Don't need on that.
nice rigatoni with
I'm not a
bolognese on
rigatoni
it?
guy.
Love it. Oh, my
No, for
goodness.
sure. I mean, I
A
like it.
bucatini?
I like it. It's not. I would probably be pizza. Team
Okay,
pizza.
pasta.
Yeah, be team pizza.
Because I mean, to me, it feels like if you're eliminating pasta, you're telling me I can't have chow ho fun or lo mein or
Well, that's a different.
any noodle.
To me, that feels like a different. When you say pasta, to me, it feels like Italian. The Italian
I would much
roll.
rather have Italian pastas in my life than pizza.
I
Like,
go-
I
I
could
go
survive
pizza.
without pizza.
I love a pizza.
Love pizza.
Love a pizza.
I love them both. This year hit me. You're
I'm hungry.
You're making me choose.
Yeah.
It's tough what you're making me choose.
Cosmos tweets at the show. You guys need to give some recommendations on places for awesome king crab in Cleveland now. Need the deets, baby. Pier W.
I'll tell you what, king crab is not, in my opinion, and Bo, you can tell me if you agree with this or not. I don't think king crab is to be the ideal way to do king crab is to do it at your house
Agree.
because you are going to be paying an exorbitant markup to have it at a restaurant. Now, if you're
Market's
going on it,
price.
I agree with you on Pier W. I've had
Pier W's
I've had
great.
It. Pier W's great for. I've had it there as like
Trout Club has unbelievable crab legs.
Yeah, but here's the problem with crab legs. If I do them at my house, they're as good or better
It's the
than
same
the
if
restaurant.
You're just steaming it.
So all I'm getting is the markup.
Right.
My restaurant attitude is always, can I do this better at home or equal at home? If not, anytime I go to a restaurant, I'm always like, well, I don't make that. So let's have that because
It's
I
rare.
try to go that
yeah,
way.
and it's rare now that I'll even get a steak at a restaurant unless
Same.
it's out on like a,
Yeah.
if we're on the road and
Yeah.
going to like Elmo's or whatever,
Yeah.
or, something
Yeah,
like that.
normally I'll try to find something that I don't make on the reg.
Yeah.
Enough from the clown. Not hearing much about Buckeye hoops up here. You want to know why? He was like, Bishop, what's going on? I can tell you. I'll say Bo. They suck.
They
I
do.
saw a clip where they missed like 38 shots in a row. at the end of the game.
I mean, in short order, they really missed on the transfer portal. I think they thought that the players that they were getting were better than the ones that they got. Their veterans who came back did not progress the way that they thought. They have one freshman who's really good in Sensabaugh, who's a first-round pick in the NBA, but he does not play on the other level. All of this is to say, and he's a great man and thorough and one of my favorite people I've ever covered down there, Chris Holtman had a really tough offseason in terms of putting the roster together. Just did.
Bring back Thad Matta.
He's at Butler. That is.
That is in basketball circles an upgrade, yeah?
Oh, no. Buckeye job's way better than the Butler job. Well, he left because he's got health issues. He didn't want to travel. And by the way, he missed the NCAA tournament his last 2 years.
Listen, the fact that I knew the name of a Buckeye coach, I'm going to throw it out there, okay?
Yeah.
Easy brown spotted. Stay in your lane.
Hey, he had some good. He did. He had
Oh,
some
he was
success.
unbelievable.
He had a
Yeah, he
great
got to
coach.
it.
He was a great coach.
It's the best Buckeye basketball has ever been, was Thad Matta.
I'm going to pat myself on the back now.
They played for a national title in 07. They got to a Final Four in 11 or 12. They
I'm
were
getting in all the lanes, Gibbe.
top 5 team for about a 5-year period.
Yeah.
No, that's as good as it's been.
Ohio State basketball Mount Rushmore. I want
John
Perry Carter.
Havlicek.
Just because I like Perry Carter.
John Havlicek, Jim Jackson.
Yeah. Jerry Lucas. Jimmy Jackson.
All J's.
So
Conley,
the fourth place, you're talking about
Greg Odom.
Dennis Hobson. You're talking about Clark Kellogg,
Clark Kellogg.
Herb Williams, Michael Redd.
Michael Redd. Scooney Penn.
Evan Turner.
Your boy.
Evan Turner was a National Player of the Year. It's hard because you have to separate like what they were from pros
Sure.
in college. Honestly, Jared Sullinger was a two-time
Sullinger.
first-team consensus All-American on the number one team in the country his freshman year and a Final Four team his sophomore year. D'Angelo Russell was a National Player of the Year.
Lawrence
He
Funderburk.
wouldn't be up on the Mount Rushmore, but for what he did for the program, Aaron Kraft,
People loved Kraft.
Scooney Penn.
What about your boy?
Scooney
Your
was
boy
great.
who could
Loved
stroke.
Scooney.
What was your boy who could stroke it? That was
Deebs.
Yeah,
Deebs.
Yeah,
Deebs.
He was in the craft.
He'd make the team
Sure.
because 6'8" guys who don't miss threes are important.
I feel like it.
But I think it's probably Havlicek, Lucas, Jimmy Jackson, and probably Dennis Hobson. Those would probably be it.
Over Sullinger.
Sullinger would be right there. Oden was hurt a lot. He didn't play.
Correct.
Mike Connolly was great, but it was one and done.
Yeah.
Evan Turner would probably be in the top 8.
Yeah, for sure.
He'd be in the second Hall of Fame or Mount
That,
Rushmore.
that job, that program is one of the most difficult to figure out because they have a
Old
talent-rich
school was
state.
So good.
They have a talent-rich state.
Yeah.
They have unlimited funding.
Yeah. They should be.
They're not demanded. It's not a demand, and maybe that's it. There's not demanded by the fan base that they're great. They just, they want them to be good. To me, Ohio State basketball at its best should be what Michigan State basketball has been under Izzo. That's what Ohio State basketball should be. That it shouldn't be Kansas. It's not Kansas, Kentucky, Carolina, Duke. It's not a blue blood, but it should be among the teams in the next rung. And I think you could make a very strong argument that over the course of history, Ohio State basketball has wildly underachieved the amount of talent in the state.
There's no
Demonstratively.
reason that program should not be talked about like Kansas and Duke.
Well, it's not there because it's not.
But from
The give a damn's not there, so it's not blue blood, but it should be right below it. There's no reason that they're not. Like, to me, like, Ohio State basketball should have a similar history as Arizona basketball.
fine.
There's no reason for them not to. They have the same stuff. In fact, they have more resources at their disposal,
Yeah.
and they haven't been. I mean,
That's what I mean. The
they've
resources.
missed their own. They miss kids in the state. Like, they've never been able to be, other than when Thad was there, they've never even been, like, they don't always get the best kids in the state. It's a strange job.
I just think if they had, at the time when Thad was going nuts, where was football? Trestle
Oh, yeah. It was
thriving.
Apex.
So that's where
Here's the big
they
part.
should have capitalized on it right there.
They played for a national championship in 07 in football and basketball. They lost both to Florida.
Right.
That was probably the peak of it. And Florida was just beat them in both. Just bad luck.
Who was on that Florida Hoops team?
That's Al Horford and
Joakim Noah.
Donovan was a coach.
yeah, Noah. Yeah, Donovan was the
Billy
coach.
Donovan.
Al Horford, Noah, Corey Brewer, those guys.
Brewer shot the lights out in that tournament.
He did.
And Noah.
They had the
Noah
little
and
guard
Horford
who
as
shot
a,
it up.
Like,
Yeah. Well,
the
they won
two
back-to-back
bigs?
national titles. Kansas is going to try to do that this year.
It's ridiculous.
But the other thing about the Thad run is Kentucky's down. Calipari wasn't in Kentucky. It was Billy Gillespie. So Kentucky was down. Indiana was in shambles.
Yeah.
So, like, he got Connolly, Oden, and Deshaun Thomas, who were all All-Americans. He got them all from Indiana. He got the best players in Indiana to come to Ohio State.
Is Indiana back at all?
Yeah, they're good now.
They're good now. Is Purdue still number one?
Yeah. No, they're top 5.
Springfield, Illinois. I did the Billy Gillespie show. He was Bill Self's assistant in Illinois.
Was he? Yeah. That you want to talk about a little bit of a too quick ascent and
A
then
little bit.
Yeah.
off a cliff.
A little bit. Bobby questions real quick. What exotic animal would you like to have as a pet? None, to be honest. I don't need that in my house.
I've always been fascinated with like a lemur. Yeah, I just like to have a lemur sitting around.
Like Dr. Evil.
Yeah, but like lemurs with their big eyes and their long tails.
Like if it listened to me, it would be pretty cool to have like a wolf.
Yeah.
if it was at my disposal,
I
and
mean,
I could
come
like
on.
just
If I'm rocking around this guy,
Yeah.
that guy's an attention getter.
a wolf's basically just a super dog. So give
Yeah.
me a wolf that listens and is nice and playful, and then if I want to sick it,
You know what I wouldn't mind having
that'd
either?
be good.
Is like a sweet chimpanzee who was like my homie.
It'd be amazing if they were actually like hospitable.
Some of them,
But that's
like,
what happened on Friends is they put that Marcel guy on there and it was a jerk and they had to write him off. So like we can't work with this thing. Thing's outrageous.
What was the one? What's the movie with Matthew Broderick?
I don't know.
And they're like doing experiments on the chimps, and he
Yeah.
befriends one, and that chimp was awesome. Like that guy, I'd hang out with
Yeah.
that dude all the time. I wouldn't mind having like a.
I don't think it's as good as it seems.
If I had like a polar bear that was like my homie, that'd be. Sweet.
Where are you gonna house him?
He's gonna swim in our lake.
Pet jaguar?
What's your favorite car from Bobby?
Like classic car or
It just says, what is your favorite car?
It's hard to beat like. So let's do this from the perspective of like pop culture cars, famous pop culture cars. It's really hard to beat like the Aston Martin from James Bond, like the silver one. That's great.
like a sick
The Magnum PI Ferrari's great.
Ferrari.
Yeah, the Crockett and Tubbs white
I love the
Testarossa
Tesla, I'm
was
not gonna
incredible. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
The Firebird from Smokey and the Bandit is great. Knight Rider kit.
All
Kit
right,
would be pretty awesome. Project X is the movie. I was
rapid
thinking
fire here because we're up against the break. Are avocados overrated?
No,
No.
properly rated. In fact, maybe
Underrated.
underrated.
I would say that I have an avocado in some form or fashion, including a guacamole.
Mhm.
I would say that that is entering my gullet on average over under 2.5 times a week, and over is usually cashing.
No, no problem with that.
What was the best?
We always have them.
Every
one thing
Monday
I
on
learned,
salad night.
One thing I really learned was that if you put them in the refrigerator, they last forever, as
Yes.
opposed to
Correct.
forever. People are like, oh, you leave it out, and it's like, no. Then it's on a quick timetable. You refrigerate those suckers, you're good.
I like the vacation shop for avocado, but sometimes that's hard. Like they only have the rock
Yeah.
avocados, and you're like, nah, I need a little give here.
Yeah.
Love avocado. At least, probably, yeah, I'd say probably
Eat a ton of them, kids.
they're great for you.
The best.
What
Great
was the
fats.
best decade for music?
I mean, everybody's partial to your era, right? Because that's the beautiful thing about music is that it paints a specific time. What I think's fascinating now is like my kids have no frame of reference on that. Like I ran, for them, it came out last week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think the correct answer. It's hard to beat like 70s rock.
I was gonna
It's
say
kinda
60s.
all
even.
of it.
The Doors and
Yeah,
Jimmy.
60s, 70s, like that.
90s
that
is
run.
pretty
I was gonna
solid,
say,
though. The
Well,
90s
we're
are
really good, but
pretty
like
solid.
the grunge thing kind of stopped.
Nah, but
People stopped making
Dre
that type
and
of music.
Snoop.
Right, that part. Like, I think you could make okay, here you go. You can make an argument like 89 to 94, 5.
89 though
That's
includes
killing it.
Includes the great Vanilla Ice.
Does. Do you remember at this
Ice Ice Baby.
Remember
was
MTV
big.
was
Huge.
it was as hair bands were dying out, and MTV used to be a thing where they actually played music videos, and I will never forget this. Unskinny Bop by Poison
Yes.
was playing, and then the next one that would come up would be Smells Like Teen Spirit. And I remember as a young kid thinking like, these two things are not the same.
Not even the same ballpark.
This is such a dramatic change. Like that, like, and then Jeremy was playing at that time for Pearl Jam, Black Hole Sun. You're like, what the hell is this, man?
And then you could. I remember. I would video VHS.
Yeah.
On the VCR.
Mm-hmm.
I would record hours so that I was able to catch "What's My Name" by Snoop. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
and then I watch that. What a video!
What a video.
Transforming between human and dog.
Amazing.
Off of the album of which you have referenced.
You can
earlier.
say that. You can say it.
I don't know if I can.
His name is Mr. Dog. He has style.
He does.
And that's the wrap on this week's mail.
That's where we're going out on that note.
Yep.
What else is there? I want
all
one more.
NFC's
No.
roster.
I
He's
want
done.
one more.
No, we're done.
Come on.
We got to do an all NFC.
All NFC East roster.
Yeah.
Favorite pizza toppings. Like
Pepperoni
it-
mushroom.
Yeah. I'm starting to get to a point where, depending on the establishment, that I will add sausage.
Yeah, I like that
Pepperoni
too.
sausage.
The
mushroom.
sausage has got to be right though.
It's got to be crumbled.
I want the crumble. I
It's
don't
gotta
want
be a
those ball things. I don't want that. The
No,
other
that's gross.
my wife's got a. She's got. I think I told you she's got a heater right now that she's got me turned on to. That's a caramelized onion, banana pepper, and mushroom. That's very nice. Very nice. I like it. Very good.
Listen, you can't get a banana
But
pepper or pepperoncini is a delightful.
Yeah, but I do love a pepperoni mushroom. Like I judge all pizza off that.
Yeah, pepperoni, right.
Yeah.
If
How do
we
you
were
do that?
doing one bite, everybody knows the rules. I
That's
wouldn't be
what I
getting
mean.
a cheese pizza. I'd be
No.
getting a pepperoni mushroom only.
I
And
think
let me tell
Dave's
you
done a
something.
disservice by doing it that way.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if you're coming at me with canned mushrooms, 0.0.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out. Can't
Not
have it.
interested.
No. Be better. Be better. All NFCs coming up next. Cleveland Browns Daily brought to you by Ballybet. Coming soon to Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. New way to cheer on your Cleveland Browns. They'll be your favorite four-legged companion. Barking Backers, presented by Milkbone, the Browns' newest club for pet parents worldwide. Sign up today at barkingbackers.com. Barking Backers, the fan club for dogs. Time to pick our All-NFC East Rasta. You've been pumping this up for much of the program.
Yeah, loaded. Quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Basically, it was second in the MVP voting. Easy. Running back, loaded. Saquon Barkley.
Just one?
Saquon Barkley gets the nod.
I don't have a problem with that.
But it's loaded.
It is, yeah.
I mean, Pollard was well over 1,000 yards.
I think Brian Robinson's going to be really good in Washington long term.
Miles Sanders was well over 1,000 yards.
Yeah. Both of those guys free agents, Sanders and Barkley.
Loaded.
Pollard too, right?
Pollard as well.
Dallas got a lot to sort out.
They do. Wide receivers. All right, I'm going to leave it open to you. They had 3 guys in the Pro Bowl. A.J. Brown,
Smith, and Lamb.
That's what I said. Now,
McLaurin would be the tough one.
Devonta Smith didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Terry McLaurin did.
Yeah,
Terry McLaurin had 1,191 yards and 5 touchdowns. Devonta Smith had 1,393 and 8.
Yeah, I'd go Lamb, Smith, Brown.
Yep. Okay, so.
And I love McLaurin's
by the
really
way,
nice.
Barkley was also the Pro Bowler. Tight end, this is the only position in the whole shebang that doesn't have a Pro Bowler.
Did you go Goddard or Schultz?
I went Goddard. 800 yards, fewer games, 200-plus more yards. Schultz had more touchdowns, though. So if you said 608 was more than 80, 805.
Do you start to see, like, we said this many times on the show, but, like, when they got off the bus here.
Yeah, they were beasts.
And we went, squad.
And
it played out. It was all there.
Yeah. What's he snacking on, Senior Swag?
Felt like nuts, maybe.
Yeah, it was a nut
nuts,
or a raisin.
Maybe
Something
a raisin,
cup,
an M&M.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Favorite M&M, go.
Green, peanut.
Peanut.
Yeah.
Peanut.
Yeah, no one's. The peanut M&M is the greatest candy that's ever been made.
2 things. Number 1, be better. Have your mic on if you're going to talk on this program. Sad. Number 2, you just said what my wife says, and I've never heard anybody else say that in my life. Not you, this guy. You said peanut.
Peanut, yeah.
I said peanut.
Yeah.
He said peanut.
Peanut?
Yeah,
I
like
did not. I said peanut.
No, you said peanut.
Peanut.
You said peanut.
Peanut.
What do you say for a donut?
It's Friday at 2:45. I don't care. You can tell me whatever the hell.
How do you say the
peanut?
Okay, how do you say a dough blank?
A donut?
Okay, good.
All right.
Good. You're back.
Tackles. Lane Johnson.
Pro Bowler.
Get back
Andrew
in your
Thomas?
lane.
Andrew Thomas was one of the highest graded tackles in the NFL this year. Pro Football Folks
Yeah.
had a monster season.
Thomas and Johnson at tackle.
Yep.
Zach Martin.
Yep. Landon Dickerson. Both Pro Bowlers.
Both Pro Bowlers. Good grief. And
Center.
then
Kelsey. Pro Bowler.
So just on offense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Eagles.
6 Eagles.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
No commies. Commie free on offense.
Commie free.
All
That'll
right.
change here.
Yep. Defense.
Let's start with the edge. Start edge. Go
Okay.
edge.
Edge.
Let's
Let's
go-
build it up
yes,
front
right.
back.
Yeah, let's
So
do
this
that.
should go edge, tackle, linebackers, corners,
safety.
safeties.
Yes,
Yeah. All right.
agreed.
All right. So edge.
Micah Parsons.
Sheesh.
And we're only going to go 2 edges here for this particular unit. We're going to go.
Reddick.
Yeah, he had 16
sacks.
sacks and a Pro Bowler. DeMarcus Lawrence was a Pro Bowler. Doesn't make our team. Brandon Graham had 11 sacks. Josh Sweat had 11 sacks. They're not good
grief.
enough on this team because
Reddick and Parsons.
we're going to play.
Jeez.
We're going to play a
Standard.
6-man defensive line.
Okay.
Or we're going to make a hard decision, and you tell me,
All right.
or we'll only keep 3 of these interior defensive linemen. For the record, Jonathan Allen, Jerron Payne, and Dexter Lawrence were all Pro Bowlers. Okay? Javon Hargrave had 11 sacks this season. Should have been a Pro Bowler. Lawrence was the highest PFF-graded interior defensive lineman in the league. Had 7.5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss. Payne made the Pro Bowl, had 11.5 sacks, 18 tackles for loss to lead all interior defensive linemen. Jonathan Allen was a Pro Bowler, had 8 sacks, 16 tackles for loss, which was second amongst all interior defensive linemen.
Who's the All-Pro at D-tackle? Who are the All-Pros, I wonder, at D-tackle? I mean, that's ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. This is the best
So you wanna
defensive
pick-
tackle.
You want to pick 3 of these cats?
2022
I think we have to.
All-Pro. So who's out? Hargrave or Lawrence? I don't know if Payne or Allen can be out.
Allen's got to be in.
All right, the 2022 All-Pro team. Since we'll go, this is good. We need this.
This will be the tiebreaker.
Okay, Defensive tackles. Is that this year? 2022. Mahomes and Hurts. That is this year. See, this is
They messed up.
They messed up. They have Chris Jones, Quinnen Williams, Jeffrey Simmons. Oh, Chris Jones, I'm sorry, and Quinnen Williams are the two.
Yep.
Which is fine.
That's fine.
Backups are Dexter Lawrence and Jeffrey Simmons. So Lawrence has to be in.
So Lawrence and Allen are in. I get you go Payne. I think you got to go Payne.
And Hargreaves an absolute monster.
He's
and
a
he
monster.
has his nickname is Gravedigger.
Wait, so how many guys are we putting in?
We got 5 D linemen.
5D linemen, 3 interior, Lawrence, Payne, Allen, Parsons, Reddick on the edge. Only 1 linebacker.
Gotcha.
TJ Edwards I went with. Him or Van Der Esch, but he had the most tackles, highest grade, all the above.
Edwards, another Eagle.
Yep. Corners.
Bradbury was good, wasn't he?
Bradbury was unbelievable. He's on. Slay's a Pro Bowler. He's in. Trevon Diggs, Pro Bowler again. He's in. Kendall Fuller, just should note, had 4 interceptions. Honorable mention.
Safeties.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson had 6 picks. After that, it's kind of open, but Derek Forrest, 4 picks, had a monster season for the Commies. That's
Sold.
who I gave it to.
All right.
Malik Hooker, nice bounce-back year for Dallas, so should be noted.
Good to be finally healthy
Yep.
for him.
Kicker.
That's a ridiculous defense.
Kicker, they're all awesome. They were all awesome. Maher was, if it's based on regular season only, it's probably Maher.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tress Way was the Pro Bowl punter for the NFC. The kickoff and return guy, Cavante Turpin of the Dallas Cowboys, was the Pro Bowl return man. And then the Pro Bowl specialist was Jeremy Reeves from the Commanders. So the NFC East.
NFC East is loaded.
Loaded.
It's funny how on Philly, because they had obviously a bunch of guys on that.
Yeah.
It's so interesting how I didn't spend any time thinking about Philly until they showed up here at camp. Immediately almost took the breath away just watching them walk
stunning.
in. It was just didn't even make sense. And we're used to being around NFL guys. And by the way, we have a lot of guys that are plenty impressive physically.
Yeah.
And they were just another level.
Yeah.
Totally another level on those 2 lines of scrimmage.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough one to beat. All right, so much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, coming soon to Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Common sense.
Common sense. Hey, I think we got
What do we got?
something. Check phone. We got
I haven't
something
seen.
from in the
Peanut.
mix. We have
Peanut.
yeah. Oh, listen. Play it again.
Peanut. Peanut.
Unbelievable.
I want this
A
on a
ruling.
drop. I
Hold
want
on.
this on a drop.
I
I
don't
just
know-
threw the
I didn't
challenge
know what
flag
that
like
was
that
at
ad.
first.
Guilty.
Guilty. Peanut. I heard it. Heard it clear as day because I
Guilty
hear it a
as
lot in my
charged.
house. I hear peanut.
Hold on, guys.
Peanut.
One second.
Peanut.
Oh, that's 100%.
It's a
Peanut.
knit. It's 100%
Really?
knit.
A knit. Definitely a
Gibbs,
peanut.
that's
Honestly, I had
peanut.
no-
That's
like,
peanut.
I
Yeah.
always say
Good job out of you,
peanut.
Paulus.
Yeah, Paulus was on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
peanut. I heard it right away. I'm
Screw you,
sensitive.
Paulus. Thanks
I'm
for making my
sensitive
life more
peanut.
difficult.
An
Peanut.
official ruling against Gibby
Oh,
with
love
evidence. With evidence.
minute.
Well,
One
this
minute.
time you're an unbiased judge, so you're
That's
able
true.
to
Hey,
actually
Paulus, we're
make
going to
a
go
real
till
ruling.
3:15. Screw you.
It's so much
And
better.
the next level.
So much better.
Are
I think
you-
you
are
just
you
said the next
claiming-
level is next. I think Gibby
There,
just said
we've
it.
had maybe one biased ruling in the history of this
Yeah, it
court.
happened within
Maybe
the
one.
last 2 weeks.
Maybe. Sort of bias.
Complete bias.
Some bias. 20% of bias
Fine.
at best. Maybe.
30-30.
All right, Gibby.
Still 30.
Gibby will be at the Combine Monday.
Yeah.
We'll be loading in. You guys have
Loading
a
in,
good show.
and
I think
we'll-
DeQuell Jackson will join us. A few
Wonderful.
other
You have that to
luminaries.
look forward to, which is nice. And the next level, which is as well. We're back on Monday. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.